on the water today with the man that caught the biggest bass in the state of Arkansas of 2024, or at least the one reported, man.
Yeah, crazy.
Pretty crazy. Guys, we're about to go over the bait, the technique, the area. We're going to give you all the juice, dive deep in this video. I got the man Kanon Harmon here. We appreciate him being out. Now let's get into it. Okay, guys, first, I'm going to let Kanon explain the bait and him talk about the bait.
So guys, this right here is the motivated Exodus swimmer. It's just a finesse swim bait. It's got a good kick and tail on it. Super finesse, and it's got a good rocking action. And I got that paired up with the F5 spinning rod. 10-pound test. Caught that 11-pounder on 10-pound test. Absolutely crazy.
So guys, you think that 1102 is a big bass from Arkansas? How about after we filmed this video, edited the video, I had an electronic forward-facing sonar lesson, and my client, good friend of mine, like I said, specific forward-facing sonar trip, caught a 12.66 largemouth bass from this lake. Very, very special fish for Arkansas and this lake. And guys, I was happy to be a part of it. So guys, if you're interested in any of my guide trips, electronic lesson trips, forward-facing sonar trips, on the water lessons, go check out my Jimmy East Swing Fishing Facebook page. There's a link down in the description. So Kanon's fish isn't the biggest fish reported in Arkansas anymore. It's now this one. Pretty sweet. I got to be a part of it. And it was actually caught, not how this fish was caught, by the way, guys. This fish, we're about to get the full breakdown of this fish, sharing some very good information to help you guys out in catching not just big fish, but guys, this right here, you can catch a lot of fish with. But how that 12.66 was caught was not exactly like how this one was caught. Just gonna go ahead, not gonna lie. Is that right, James? We're not gonna lie. Also, guys, thank you for watching today's video. It might not be the best quality due to the conditions that we had. I tried the best I could. I didn't have much time with Kanon due to he lives in a whole nother city, college. He came down to film this video. Weather was not our friend that day. I was going to get drone shots and do a lot more for you guys, but we did the best that we can. Now let's get back to it. We have the bait dialed in. I'm about to let Kanon explain what we're doing here, the technique, the area, and it all.
So guys, I'm mainly focusing on main lake stuff, stuff that's close to deep water, long tapering points that come out into the main lake. And I'm between the timber and the grass and brush piles, and I'm focusing on just fish suspended, fish coming off the bottom from the deep depths. I mean, the water's cold, guys. The water's 48 degrees here. I mean, it's cold. These fish are coming from deep water, but catching the majority of them in 20 to 25 foot, some of them in 30. But it's just targeting suspended fish over brush, and then some of them are just out roaming by themselves. So,
now, are there any keys to that? Like, is it a thing like you're just picking these main lake points in these areas, or are you targeting, like, are you trying to find brim, crappie, bait fish, anything like that helps that bite?
Bait fish, they're definitely bait fish. You gotta be around it, I've noticed, and they're not necessarily eating the bait fish. It's kind of weird, but they're roaming around it trying to find them. But you just gotta stay to these main lake points, the long ones that come way out into the main lake and that dive off into deep water, and they're just coming up on top of these points and suspended. And that fish was suspended. Yeah, is what it was, but it's crazy.
So the fish was, you said on the radio the fish was in what? You thought 30 to 35 foot?
30 to 35
So
foot,
with the boat, what's the boat depth then?
Like 60.
Yeah, so guys, a lot of people aren't familiar with that. I know I've done this before. Kanon is shallow water power fisherman, and he has stepped his offshore game up in the recent years. But like, to me, before, we'd fish these points just like this. We're in 40 foot right now. We'd fish these points, throw them up there, work a jig back, or you throw your Alabama rig, and you're just trusting and visualizing it. But now with forward-facing sonar, it helps with efficiency.
Absolutely. I mean, that fish, I wouldn't have caught it without forward-facing sonar. I mean, I watched it eat it, and it was absolutely crazy. I didn't think it was a bass at first.
Yeah.
But we thought it was a striper, and we saw it come up by the boat, and I was screaming for the net. We didn't have a net.
Yeah, and my guys that are watching this that are not from Arkansas, this lake has a lot of hybrids and white bass, and so that's what's kind of tough sometimes with determining fish of that size. You can kind of
just got to pick through them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to catch both, but you just got to pick through them and keep fishing, and you're going to run into the right ones eventually.
Okay, guys, so right now, Kanon's right here off this point, okay, and I'd had the drone up, but as y'all guys can tell, the conditions aren't the best today for us to even film this, but when he caught this fish, it was in same conditions. Nasty. So you always hear about big fish getting caught in these conditions, and so that's true. So we're right here off of this long flat point. He caught fish here the other day. This wasn't where the 11 was caught, by the way, guys, but he caught fish here the other day. We're going to try to show you. We're not seeing it, but I'm just going to let Kanon kind of talk, you know, and we're going to get up here on the unit. You're going to see the live scope footage, and I'm going to stand right here and just try to get it the best I can of recording him.
So as you can tell, I'm 40 foot away right now from this point, or 40 foot deep, and I'm just targeting him. Get on the way back, I'm make a long cast. Long cast are really important. I'm letting that bait fall to the bottom. Unless if I'm not seeing them. A lot of them are just hanging on the bottom when it gets real cold like this. And sometimes you'll just see them come up. But let that bait go to the bottom. And it's just a slow wind. Keep your rod tip down. Just keep it
Steady retreat.
Steady retreat.
That's one thing I've
If I see
noticed.
a fish come at it, I might speed it up just a little bit
Mm-hmm.
when he starts getting on it. But that's about it.
There, yep. Guys, hopefully y'all are hanging in. We're getting good footage. I was going to give him my chest camera, but with all the rain, I'm not getting undone right now. So there it is.
Right there.
There it is on the bottom. Okay. There it is on the bottom.
I just keep it about a foot off the bottom.
Yep.
Those fish will come up and just eat it.
Yes. And also, guys, like I said, if we do see the suspended fish we'll throw at them, sometimes they you know, they might not be.
They show up randomly. They just move around.
And a lot of people throw with the suspended fish, but here we're just showing other kind of ways you can go out and target fish. Now, this is hard. Now, one thing, Kanon, though, we hadn't seen one yet. I've done it in a few of my videos, but brush piles. Throwing this around the brush piles, over the brush piles. Was there brush close that day?
Yes. There's brush really close. I think that's probably where that fish was swimming up to. Cause like I said, these fish are coming from deep water. They're coming up on top of these points. So you stay close to these points and stay on them. Like right there's a couple of fish on the bottom. But you stay close to these fish on the points because they're just going to keep coming to you. The fish come to the points, and that's where they feed. So you just stay close to the points, and those fish will just start showing up randomly. I mean, you just got to sit there sometimes. There's a brush pile.
There's your brush pile. That's one thing, guys, I've talked about on the channel is how fish aren't always just in the brush, but they could be around the brush. And so, like, there's fish, you know, swimming around brush. Let's see if Kanon get this right here. We got this wind blowing. Sometimes it's hard with these little dudes. Oh, he's right there above it. And I know I've kind of showed guys, I love throwing the Alabama rigs over these things. Everybody does, but lately I've kind of figured out
they're getting more used to it.
They're getting more used to it.
Yep.
And so, guys, now I hate, you know, you're like, why are you showing this seeker? Well, hey, y'all all go throw it so I can get my Alabama rig back out and throw with these things. We're trying to get on it right here and get a good cast. See, some of those could be fish real tight down there, guys. I should probably adjust this thing and get it up for them. Get up there, and there's a fish coming out of it right there on the bottom. That could not be a bass, though. It might not be. But, ooh, there's one. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one.
Simple technique. I mean, it's pretty old school. Long range, long sloping points by really deep water. These fish are just coming up here and they're getting in this brush.
Another thing I've done, guys, I've not put on the channel yet. So he has a jig head. Is that 3/8 ounce?
This is a half.
That's a half. So that's a ½ ounce jig head. I'm right here also. I like that ½ ounce jig head, 3/8. But right here is the 1/4 ounce tush by Core Tackle. And this is the Rapala Crush City Freeloader. If y'all have watched Toledo Bend recently and anything with Jacob Wheeler. Yeah, so I like to throw this for more of them fish higher in the water column. That jig head I like to throw lower. Guys, y'all know man, they ain't coming out of that one, I guess, huh? So, guys, you know I love the hover rig. Hover rig right now for the winter is not as been of for me, just for my testing this year, it's not been as much of a player as last winter. This right here has been more, okay? You know, but that hover rig caught them all summer for us, okay? But we're still trying to learn. I've not thrown as much because I've been throwing that for deeper, and then this guy too. That guy right there, they're not going to come out. Okay, guys, hey, this part of the video, we were actually going to give you some more water action, but it is pouring. It's been raining. It is raining and raining. We did catch fish. Got you a couple pictures right there for you guys to see. But we got them doing kind of what we talked about today. And now, but with this, though, I kind of wanted to go over the segment. I told Kanon I want us to do this segment to let you guys know, Kanon, what was your biggest before that 11?
Before that 11 was right at 7 pounds.
Yeah, 7. And he caught a bunch of fish between 6 and 7. Guys, we're in Arkansas, as if you know you watch the channel. But we're here to tell you, like, catching a double-digit fish is rare, and it's something, I mean, like, it doesn't happen much. I mean, you see them guys in Texas and Florida, other areas.
On a clear lake, too. I mean, some guys catch them at Millwood. I mean,
yeah.
But this is a clear lake. Fish are dang smart.
Yes.
Man, that's crazy. Dude.
In Arkansas, I mean, it's hard to catch a 10 in Arkansas, guys. And, like, I know, like, I just want to just let y'all know in this segment, like, if you get discouraged because you haven't caught a fish over 4 or 5 pounds, or, you know, I mean, you see Milliken go catch, like, 5 in a video, guys, don't compare yourself to him or those dudes at Ivy. I've been to Ivy. Okay, guys, I know. Like
Caught a 10-pounder.
you're throwing at big fish. So, guys, just to let you know, and hopefully this, this here helps teach. And hey, we caught a lot of fish today, doing what you talked about earlier with that finesse swim bait.
30 or so. Caught a bunch.
We caught a lot of fish.
Nothing over 3 pounds.
Yeah,
But-
except that one.
Oh yeah.
We did catch a 3-pound spot today. How about that?
Figures.
But yeah, guys. So on this part of the segment, hey, if you're watching right now still, leave me a comment what your biggest bass is and where you live. Okay, I know we have a bunch of guys that watch this video, watch the channel from all across the country. And guys, Kanon here. I should have said this earlier. Kanon is going to he's going to get into crappie guiding once he finishes college. You're right here in your last semester.
Yep.
What are you getting your degree in?
Business management.
Business management, okay?
Yep.
But he wants a crappie guy. The dude can catch some crappie. He loves it.
If I can be on the water, that's where I want to be. So.
He just wants to be on the water. He's a dang fish, okay? And we caught a bunch of those today as it was fish. But guys, so Kanon has got, through with what I do, I'm gonna try to help Kanon get his little business going, him get crappie, and he also can do bass. He can train you on catching bass, guiding. We're gonna kind of work together in that aspect. But what do you think, James? Anything you want to say?
Fish.
Say fish? You say fish? You don't want to say fish right now. Appreciate you guys watching, and let us know what you think about the video. And hey, we'll see you on the next one. Just kind of